Hi, we're here live at Goffstown High School for a Division I matchup between the Bedford Bulldogs and the Goffstown Grizzly Broden. This is a big game.
Huge matchup today, Scott. It's really critical for what's gonna go down with the rest of the playoff picture, and we're just gonna see how this defense can come out for Goffstown, as we saw some problems in that first game early against Bedford.
Yeah, defense wins championships, no doubt about it. But Goffstown is down like 3 of their starters due to injury.
Yeah, so it's gonna be really, really big, and see who steps up today. That's gonna be the really big headline for Goffstown. So we're gonna see just in a minute as we're gonna head down now. Oh, 5.
That's crazy.
Welcome, folks. We are here in Goffstown today. We are live for NHIAA Division I playoff matchup between Bedford and Goffstown. Scott, how are we doing?
We're doing well. It's an unbelievable 75-degree sunny day here in Goffstown. I don't think you really see a 75-degree day in the middle of November, but we sure have it here.
Yeah, I made the mistake of wearing two long sleeve shirts today.
Really?
I thought it was going to drop a little bit. I was incorrect.
So this game is going to be, I say it's a toss-up. Two really good teams who have just a historic rivalry. Bedford has won the state championship. Goffstown has won state championships. Just two really strong programs. And when we talk about a rivalry, let's also not forget last week, Bedford High School, Bedford Bulldogs let us play on their field due to poor field conditions here. So as much as it is a rivalry, it's a respect between two neighboring communities, and I think we're in for a whale of a game today.
Yeah, Scott, I say this is probably one of the best games we see all season, regardless of the two teams playing. Yeah. I think this is one of the best matchups we could see, as Goffstown did win that early matchup, first game of the season against Bedford, but this is a different Goffstown team coming in. We've seen a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball. Peyton Strickland had that massive game against Bedford the first week, and he's still on receiving leaderboards.
Isn't that crazy?
I'm pretty sure he's still at least top 15, which is incredible to me.
So yeah, you're right. So Goffstown is without Strickland. They're without safety Duval. They're without Cody, one of their best linebackers. So I think defensively, I think that's where some of the biggest concern is for Goffstown. I think on the offensive side, Broden, I think that Goffstown should do well. We do have an addition in terms of Antonio, who was not in the first game, is playing today.
Yeah, I think that front also for Goffstown was of question in that first game. So an addition and some improvement in that front is definitely necessary coming into this one, Scott. We also do see Ethan Bradley come back.
Very important.
So he'll be taking this kickoff for Goffstown, and we're probably going to see something short here, Scott, for Ethan Bradley's
I think you want to be careful. They got some speedsters on the Bulldogs, and that's kind of like a short
squib
kick.
High squib kick, end over end.
Hard for a setup. Oh, he's got a hole. And he gets quickly brought down, but not after picking up about 20, 25 yards. So he quickly, the Bedford returner got about 20, 25 yards. So you talk about a really short field.
Yeah, Scott, guess who on that return? That's Solomon Sanchez, who we identified as one of the key players on Bedford.
But that's
going
who you
into
don't
the game.
Want to kick to.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like, call me crazy, but kick away from him.
Oh, I don't call you crazy for that one, Scott. Sanchez is one of the premier talents in the state, and he is the cornerstone of this Bedford team.
So Bedford will be led by quarterback Joe Michael. And as you mentioned before, Solomon Sanchez, number 1, he is their primary threat on the receiving core. And usually it's Menderson is the running back. Let's see who it is today.
In motion is Sanchez, and he's going to get the handoff. But
he gets tripped up.
He's going to get about, I'd say, 2 on that one, Scott.
Yeah.
See, what I didn't like about that one there, it ended up benefiting Goffstown, was Solomon Sanchez was lined up in the slot. And you know who was covering him, Scott? Cooper Flanagan, somebody that I don't think really can hold up with him down the field. So that's something to watch as Mpoyo is going to come out from the roamer spot and take the coverage this time.
Uh-oh.
Movement before the snap, but they're not going to call that.
They're not going to call anything.
Scott, something really interesting
with
Bedford's offensive line is they switch hands sometimes before the snap, which you can do, but it makes it look like they're moving.
Keeper by the quarterback. He moves and grooves, but he gets taken back. He picks up about 2 yards on that one. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5. So Belanger with the tackle, but Michael there, he kind of gave a couple of jukes and was able to pick up a couple of yards.
Yeah, but he was met quickly after a gain of just a few yards there, and there was a whole bunch of people waiting for him.
So here's our matchup that I've been talking about. It's really the receiving core here. Solomon Sanchez, the bottom part of your screen, number 1.
With him is number 7, Aaron Skelling, as well, senior.
And he's looking right in that direction.
Over the middle, and that's dropped.
So Skilling drops the ball. It was Scaling. I apologize.
Our rosters are a little low res here,
so I think that I'm surprised they're not going for it here, because I guess a punt can pin you deep. But
Scott, I will say I
don't like this. What Goffstown does here is they gave up these fake punts and doing the same exact thing with 2 deep. I just don't like it. And look who's back. Your punter is your best player.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with this at all.
I watched Sanchez warming up his leg earlier, and he's got a big one. High snap. He's to jump for that one, but that one's going to go towards the back corner, and Caden gets wrapped up. No, he's still going.
But he couldn't get much. So he gets to about maybe the 10-yard line. It's 11-yard line. So that's where Goffstown will take over.
It's rough starting field position, Scott, for the first drive of the game.
I would agree,
for Goffstown's offense here.
I do think, though, that if Goffstown's going to win this game offensively, they have to do their typical strong running game.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's where Picard, who is, in my mind, no doubt all-state running back quality this year.
100%, Scott.
Has had a spectacular year. And give credit to the Goffstown offensive line as well, who's given him some pretty big holes.
Yeah, and there's some new names in that offensive line that we didn't see too much of last year, but they've held up quite well.
First play is a run up the middle, big hole, and he picks up a good 5 yards.
Really good first run there from Zach Picard, finding the hole in that offensive line, and that's really all he needs. He needs one good block, and then he can spring it and break some tackles downfield if he really needs them, if he needs to.
Cheney with the tackle for Bedford.
Another handoff to Picard, this one on a option play.
He has got a first down, I believe. So you think he's going to get tackled, Broden, and then he makes a real sharp cut to the inside.
Yeah, Scott,
and he picks up a first.
As good as he is running with power, he's got some real nice finesse moves to him as he can make a good cut and go. 1st and 10 here. Shotgun is Jarrett Hinault. Another handoff to Picard.
He gets wrapped up quickly, though, by number 24. I think that was Parker Henriksen.
That would be Parker Henderson.
Henderson.
It's Henderson. It's Henry.
Henderson.
Yeah, there you go.
Henderson. Apologize for that. Great tackle, though. So if this is a long 2nd and 9, all running plays. Again, up the middle, and Picard picks up about 4 on that one. That'll bring up, I'll call it 3. That'll bring up a 3rd and 5. So this, you'll see probably your first pass play here.
I'd like to see a pass over the middle. You've got a trips to the far side, but I do also like into the middle, but Jonah Lopez is all by himself on the far side of the field. It's going to be a quick pass over the middle.
He had him.
Jeremy Hinault.
He just went right through his hands. Right through his hands.
So 2 quick 3-and-outs for either team here, Scott. And
and both on a drop ball.
A drop ball on third down.
Bedford had a drop ball on third down, and there Hinault had one as well. But that ball was perfectly thrown. So now you're going to have Zach Picard as your punter, and why isn't anybody going deeper? This is weird.
Yeah, we know Picard's kind of got, again, he's an offensive skill player who's got a leg on him just like Sanchez.
Yeah, I would give him a little bit more respect than that and he is backing up to the 40.
The returner did come on late for Bedford, so Jeremy Hinault down there early, but he's going to backtrack, and he's going to lose about 6 yards there, Scott.
So Cooper Flanagan, what a great play on special teams. He lost 5 yards by backing up.
Yeah, really good play by Jeremy Hinault and Cooper Flanagan to be there really early.
So it appears to me that both teams are trying to establish the run today.
Oh, definitely.
Goffstown's first plays, except for that last one, were all running plays.
And some of them were run options, so I'd love to see Jared Hinault get involved in this running game as well, because we know he's dominant that way.
But it looks like they're giving, their defense is going to let Picard run.
Yeah.
So Michael in the shotgun, Sanchez in motion. He takes the handoff.
That same jet sweep we saw already to Sanchez.
And number 5, Osborne, with the tackle. But he picks up about 5 yards on that play, maybe 6. A lot of speed by Solomon Sanchez.
Yeah, and they've run that same play, just different directions here. And I think they're trying to get a feel for this Goffstown defense and see where the holes are going to develop in this line as they can get some outside runs, possibly to their running back, number 32, Russell Irwin. So
again, you got single coverage now in the bottom part of your screen.
Fake the jet sweep, and Russell Irwin is going to end up with this one on the outside.
That'll be a first down easily.
So Scott, I just said it. You ran the same play with Solomon Sanchez twice, a jet sweep. You're looking as a quarterback, you're looking for those holes, and especially as a coach, you're looking for where those holes develop, so you know where to run with your running back.
So a good drive so far by the Bedford Bulldogs, keeping the defense of Goffstown a little bit off balance here. Again, look at Levesque. He's single coverage.
Yeah, it depends on where the safety is going here, Scott, and it looks about like a cover 2 for Goffstown, but they are pulled up close to
they are. And that's
linebackers.
What I'm saying is that if you remember, Michael from our last game has an unbelievable touch as a quarterback. He just lays it right in there perfectly.
It's going to be another run, but this one's going to be quickly swallowed up for a gain of generous 2, I'd say.
2-3 yards, yeah. And Leidick with the tackle. So it looks like Leidick is playing in place of Cody today.
I think that is true, Scott.
And it looks like what Bedford's trying to do is not try to necessarily run between their tackles, but look for like angles. That's why those jet sweeps are good in that respect.
Yeah, those jet sweeps, and you could see wide receivers pull in and set the edge as well.
So everything is stacked to the left side here.
Exactly.
Everything. So Levesque has just got to stay his ground. He's got to cover that edge.
And
look for a misdirection. And
that's dropped.
Dropped, or was it a good throw? Not sure about that one.
I think that was right in the hands of 11, and it was flying in there like a bullet.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 8. And so now in comes number 10, Dylan Kambani, and he is a good player.
Yeah, we saw him a little bit in that first week. And
so, again, you got to focus in on the receiving core here. What they did last time is that same play, but look for a slant over the middle to Solomon Sanchez. So Poyo is there, but the linebacker's got to move over a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to guess one of the safeties is going to pull down a little bit, and that's a good catch
grab
by Kambani.
Kambani, that's what I'm saying. So, and he did that in front of Will Sasso, playing a little bit soft on him. But again, you gotta be careful because Kambani's got speed. You give him too much, he'll burn it up the sideline.
Yeah, Scott, on a team that looks like they're content with punting on 4th down, you kind of have to understand that you play that first down marker like the end zone.
Yes.
That's where you're trying to stop them from moving to.
Receivers are so far off the line. Michael keeps it. This is a good play.
And he's met by Jeremy Hinault.
Yeah, but he picks up a good 3 yards, maybe more.
See, Scott, I like that. I like this. This displays the difference between these two starting quarterbacks almost perfectly. For Michael there, it was a design quarterback keeper, and he knew where he was going. I think Jarrett Hinault is a little bit better of a runner, and Jarrett can use that read option really well and find the hole for himself.
Yeah, but also keep in mind, Jared has probably got about 30, 40 pounds on Michael.
Do not doubt that.
Somebody getting taken down.
2nd down and 7 here. Sanchez in motion, but this one's going to be a handoff.
You got Capos, Belanger, Halpern, all of them are in that. Dalton, I should say, in there.
If I'm Irwin there, I'm shaking in my boots seeing that front 4 there for Goffstown come off the block quick.
I tell you though, Bedford is doing a very smart play calling, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're running the ball a lot, and then they're opening it up for their receivers, and so far they've been successful.
Yeah, in a game where Goffstown is missing one of their star linebackers, that's Ryan Cody, it's really hard for these linebackers who haven't maybe got as much playing time, because they'll pull in and commit to the run, as we're going to see Michael alone in the backfield this time, so no run.
There's no rush, though.
And that...
Oh, what a grab!
So that's a really good catch there by number 11. That's Alex Waiku. But
what a grab!
It looked like at the same time Seth Osborne fell down on that route. So he was shaking his head getting up there. So little misplay here from Osborne. So
yeah, but now you're in 4th down territory. So once you get inside the 30, no one's punting.
No.
So this is Goffstown's defense, who we know is going to be struggling today due to all their injuries. They're going to be on the field.
No one in the backfield here for Bedford. I'd love to see a middle linebacker blitz come in, as you could really disrupt the quarterback in his throw here. But instead, we're going to see a jet sweep.
What a nice tackle by Hinault.
Hinault got off that block horizontally, Scott. And I love when players do that, because it allows them to get off quickly and make an even better tackle.
Yeah, he shed a block of Kubicki for Bedford and was able to get in on that ankle tackle.
Scott, Jared Hinault put in a lot of work this offseason, and he's come back. He's big. He's big,
So
Scott.
what do you make of this 4 wide receiver set for Bedford? Naked backfield, really. I mean,
again, I'd love to see some middle linebacker pressure here from Goffstown, as that one's going to be over the head.
Now, what I like to see on that one, I've been calling for this all season, is to put your hands up. And Capos put his arm up, if you saw on that one. They're so tall. You're talking about defensive linemen in high school that are 6'5", 6'3", and 6'7".
Yeah, Scott. I also give all the credit to Capos, too. He's a very athletic lineman. Now, when you talk about linemen, you talk about these guys that rely on their strength, but Capos can move.
All right, so now we do have number 21 in the backfield, Owen Christopher. He's to the right of Michael.
He's been split out wide the past couple of plays, and they're not going to give it to him, as I expected. And Dalton put his hand up, and that's going to be
what a good defensive play by Sasso.
Really great play by Sasso there to get up and fight for that ball.
And that's one thing. Sasso is a basketball player, too, and he can get up there.
Yeah, I actually played rec basketball with him, Scott, and he's a very good basketball player, and he's really good in the rebounding situations, even though he's built more like a guard. So he can use that.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though, he got
developed
up there, and I think, you like to see that for a receiver and a cornerback, someone who can get up there. So we're 4th down and a long, I'd say 7. Michael, empty backfield.
I'd really love to see Zach Picard come screaming up that B gap there, and he's not. He's going to take the bounce pressure. And this is a jump ball, and that's smacked away by Mikey. What a play by Michael Levesque.
So Michael Levesque had perfect coverage on that play. And that's one of the keys to this game was, in my opinion, was Mikey Levesque. And you talk about perfect coverage.
Yeah.
He had the inside on his defender, and really there was no way either Mikey Levesque's going to catch an interception or the ball is going to get battered away.
So it's a really smart play by Mikey Levesque there. It was down by the goal line, and if he intercepted that, he could be taken down at the 1 or the 2, but instead they're going to turn over on downs, Scott.
Yeah, but it's okay. It's a turnover on downs, but it's it's safe, though. It's the 25-yard line.
Yeah, we heard a nice scream of, yeah, Mikey, from the coaches over by us here, so we know that's a good play. As the offense is going to come back out here for Goffstown. So this is going to be a screen pass out to Jeremy Hinault, who makes a move, and he's going to get about.
He only gets a yard or two. So,
yeah.
So speaking of Mikey Levesque, let's talk a little bit about Mike Levesque, the father. So Mike Levesque, and talking with him, he's been a coach for so many of these players over the last 7, 8, since they were little.
The Screaming Eagles, Scott.
And not so much that, but he's also coached some of the players on Bedford.
So he knows.
So he knows these players. He's seen them since they were little. Handoff to Picard, but he gets gobbled up so quickly. He got nothing.
Scott, on these plays, if I'm one of these coaches on the sideline who's watching from afar, I look over at this trips formation on the closer side of the field. There are only 2 defensive backs here for Bedford. So,
are you surprised, Broden, that we're playing like the some of these teams are just run? I mean, this hasn't been a pass on first down. A little unusual.
It hasn't been a pass on first or second down,
right.
Scott.
So there's only been 1 pass attempted to Hinault.
Screen here to Lopez, who makes a move. Beautiful move by Jonah.
But he's not going to get anything.
But he's not going to get it there. I really like that.
But
that
my question is that
upfield.
why aren't you calling some of these plays on first or second down, right?
Yeah. That sets you up better for the run because now you see these
Correct.
screen passes.
Right. I mean,
and you kind of you have to balance this out if you're Goffstown and keep Bedford guessing.
So you got Solomon Sanchez back. And if anything, you want to kick this to a sideline. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely,
Give up. You want to kick it to the 50-yard line out of bounds. You do not want to let Solomon Sanchez touch this ball.
I'd love to see a fake punt here with about 3 yards to go and you're running back deep as your punter, but that's not going to happen.
That's a good kick.
That's a great kick to the sideline, and that's exactly what you want to happen if you're Goffstown's special teams coach.
So they'll go around the 35-yard line, I'm thinking. 30. That went out. That is an unbelievable
Very
punt.
good kick. I give all credit there to Zach Picard, as that's precision. The ball had some spiral on it. It floated. It got high. Just a really good all-around kick, Scott.
So these are 2 teams now have had 2 possessions apiece. The defenses are holding tight.
Yeah, and I think that was a big thing coming into the game for both teams.
What do you got? Less than 2 minutes in the first.
Yeah.
But both teams have been really trying to aggressively establish the run, which their hope is to then set up the pass. But
Scott, this is going to be a wildcat formation. Oh, nope, just kidding. That is Michael that's back there.
Handoff up the middle, and he gets gobbled up by
Nate Belanger was there to make that tackle there, Scott. And I was talking about it a little bit earlier. We talked about this first game in the season with you back at the studio, Scott. This first game of the season, Bedford dominated in that first half with their run game. I think part of that was the performance of Nate Belanger. He hadn't really stepped into this spot yet due to the loss of Antonio Capos. But as the season's progressed, Scott, he's gotten really good at this inside defensive lineman.
Clearly, Belanger, another All-State. You can put him on All-State nose tackle, nose center.
Got to be patient here if you're Goffstown.
But now you got motion on offense, I think, because it depends if they
offsides on defense.
Okay.
Yeah, Scott. So you got to be really patient here if you're Goffstown. It's gonna really bite you in the behind, Scott.
Yeah. That is like the 3rd time that Goffstown has. I guess twice they were able to get back. That time they weren't.
I say it quite often with these types of penalties. You do have the opportunity. If you do have the opportunity to get back, you're supposed to use it. And I guess they just didn't give Matt Dalton the credit there to get back.
That's a run up the middle by the quarterback,
and
he
pushes forward.
He's got 1 yard to go for a first down. So that's a designed run. And
this motion is something that we haven't seen a lot. We didn't see a lot of in that first Bedford game. So interesting scheme here for Bedford is they're using that motion of Sanchez, who's the player you have to watch, and they're trying to throw off this defense here really well.
Yeah, so I think another design run by I would put Sanchez in motion, and then I'd have Michael go up the middle again.
It's an outside run, and he's got to break it.
And Perry with the tackle at the 45-yard line, but not after a first down by Bedford, and that was about a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, if you're Goffstown, you do have to understand they're going to run this one to the outside if the ball is going to a skill player other than Michael. These running backs don't have the same characteristics as one like Zach Picard, but they do have that outside speed.
And really, Goffstown has not really been able to get a pass rush, in my opinion. I mean, to distract, to get the quarterback out of rhythm.
Motion here for Sanchez. Isn't going to end up with that one. Just a quick curl route to the tight end there.
And a nice play defensively by Caden Perry on the tackle.
Yeah, way to be patient there if you're defense. And this is going to be a really generous spot. They're going to give him 4 or 5 on this one, Scott. However, we are going to see the end of the first quarter, so we'll flip sides of the field.
So a defensive battle we got here.
Yeah, 0-0 going into the start of the second quarter, rather. Something I don't know if I was ready to see. I thought we were going to see two explosive offenses meet, and instead they're both going to be shut down by either team's defense. So really interesting play, as we'd like to welcome everyone watching in Goffstown and Bedford and the other towns, but we do have a simulcast, or whatever you want to call it,
right,
going
Friday night lights, right?
With BCTV in Bedford.
Okay.
So we'd like to welcome everyone watching today's broadcast, as we are here live in Goffstown. This is a good game so far, Scott.
This is exactly what we predicted. This was going to be a toss-up game against two really talented teams, again, fighting for, continuation of the playoffs. So nothing new here as far as I'm concerned. And the only thing that I am a little bit surprised, I'm a little bit surprised that the score is 0-0. And I say that because I thought, if anything, I'm not saying we would have a high-scoring game, but I thought that the pressure was more on the defenses, not on the offenses.
Yeah, these are two really good offenses with some really good key players.
And I think we in the first quarter, we saw the opposite. We saw just really great defense.
Yeah.
So it'll be a second down and a long 5 for the Bulldogs. And it's a hot one here, 75 degrees in November.
In direct sunlight, there's very few clouds in the sky, Scott, so these players could get winded quick.
Goffstown, almost everybody in the box here.
Handoff to
opposite misdirection, number 32. What a great job, Irwin.
That's going to be easy first
that was
down,
like
Scott.
Almost like a misdirection or a counter type play, where all of the offensive players went to the right, and then the handoff went to the left. So that was just an awesome play call.
Yeah, really good play call there from Bedford.
Yeah, because everybody's chasing the fake to Sanchez, and they're all going in that direction.
Yeah, because Sanchez is the guy you have to stop for this Bedford offense, and I think Bedford has schemed that, and maybe they won't get him the ball as much as we're expecting here, Scott.
Or does he break free in terms of, right here, just run up the middle or something in terms of receiving?
They're gonna stay with the pass, and that one's gonna go deep.
Open.
He's wide open.
Touchdown!
And that's a touchdown
Bedford
for
Bulldogs.
Bedford.
And Mikey Levesque, and who was that? Caden Perry.
Yeah, Caden Perry with the safety help didn't come down.
Didn't come for the help.
Yeah, he didn't.
And that's what happens. They have everybody in that box, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody's sucking up, and then all of a sudden a throw over top. And that is Michael at his classic. He's at his best when he can throw a nice lofted, just put the touch. So a great touchdown and a great drive by the Bulldogs.
And that was created by that fake handoff on that play action pass, Scott. So you have to, if you're Goffstown, stay patient on defense.
So Michael is also your kicker for extra points.
Which is odd. I'm pretty sure Bedford does have a kicker listed.
And he kicks it good, and that was in the woods. So it's Bedford 7, Goffstown 0. And who scored that touchdown for Bedford? Did you catch that?
I believe it was number 7, Aaron Scaling.
Okay. And that was a beautifully orchestrated drive by Bedford.
Really good drive there by Bedford, and way to use the scheming of that offense to lead Goffstown in the misdirection plays.
Right,
and the exact missed direction there. As the safety was pulling down to help with the run, and he couldn't track his way back to the pass. So
I think your word scheming is the appropriate one, because it's like, keep committing to that jet sweep and the run, and then lull them into like sleeping and think it's going to be again. And you saw Goffstown was having 10 guys in the box, more, almost everybody in the box, and. So let's see what Goffstown can do now on offense. You're talking about a pretty potent offense for Goffstown, who's been stymied in their first couple of drives.
Yeah, and Scott, we saw in the Memorial game last week, or 2 weeks ago rather, Goffstown came out after a strike of momentum from Memorial and almost went totally unanswered.
So that's going to go out of bounds, and I'd make them re-kick it.
Yeah, we're going to take I believe we should take a re-kick on that one. So we saw a really good punt from Zach Picard that went out of bounds. This one, not where you want to see.
I guess they're going to take it to the 35 then.
They're going to. Interesting.
They'll take it to the 35-yard line. So it looks like neither team really wants to have the other have a kickoff return. And Bedford is smart in terms of they've seen over the last decade Goffstown's dealer play, right?
Yeah,
Where
I think everyone has.
Everyone
Scott.
has. So you're like, okay, I'm not going to get burned on and tie up a game on a kickoff return. So Belanger comes out holding the ball. He's the center, number 76. Capos is playing, looks like a right guard.
And then to the other side of the center is left guard Toby Halpern. We're going to see Goffstown's own motion, and Jarrett Hinault, the other Hinault brother, is going to keep that one.
Right, and this is now called, you could just see in Hinault's eyes that...
Which one?
I'm sorry, Jared. He almost, I'm going to use the word pissed, because he did look pissed on that play.
Yeah, this is some momentum that needs to be regained.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looked angry, real angry.
He's going to keep that one, and the entire Bedford sideline was caught off guard, and they said middle. They called for the middle, and it looked like Jarrett made the right read and committed to the other side.
Jarrett Hinault on those 2 runs looks like a man possessed.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I mean, you could see it.
Yeah, he's got great vision, Scott, and I wouldn't want to get in his way too often.
And this is really maybe the fire that they need, because the first couple of drives they didn't really have a whole lot of fire in their belly. Some good first downs and all, but
Zach Picard hops over a man on the defensive line.
But he picks up 5 or 6 yards, and if you're going to get that, and it looks like they're trying to go hurry up on Bedford.
And this is what's worked so well for them time and time again, is they get the other defensive front. They get them winded, Scott, and then you get those runs up the middle from Zach Picard that work almost flawlessly.
So we got a 2nd and 5. Nope, Hinault keeps
Keeper.
it, cuts it back.
And he just keeps making moves, Scott. He's going to pick up the first down.
That was a Picard-like, right?
Yeah, I think they've been teaching each other some moves, because he made 2 great cuts, and really great effort there by Jarrett Hinault. That one was a run-pass option, as we did see Jonah Lopez on that far side come back on what looked like a wide receiver smoke
This is a great
screen.
time right here to throw a deep ball.
Yeah, I'd love
good time to throw a deep ball.
But look at the combo of Caden Perry and Will Sasso. They are going to have to split the field here, and crossing it is Will Sasso, who's going to go down.
Did he get hurt?
No, I think he just dug into the the turf a little, or the
so
grass a
Sasso
little
picks
bit.
up a first down. I wasn't sure if he twisted an ankle, he went down so quick. And we called it. I mean, try to throw a ball on first down to keep this team a little off balance.
As we're going to see the first down here, and Jeremy Hinault in motion, and Jarrett's going to keep it up the middle, and he gets.
And again, he's impossible to tackle on the. One guy cannot tackle him.
Yeah, he's got that big. He's a wrestler. I'd say it time and time over, Scott. He's a wrestler, and he was a state champ wrestler last year.
Yeah.
And he just keeps his legs turning.
So Picard in the backfield with Hinault. Picard is to his left. 3 receivers to the top of your screen. Hinault keeps it again, and he uses a block by Picard.
Yeah, I really like that play,
You rarely
Scott.
see that.
I really like that play, because he took the handoff.
And then was a blocker, played fullback.
And then he pulled the handoff back. That is, Jarrett Hinault pulled the handoff back and pushed Zach Picard in front of him and used him like a lead blocker. And it worked really well, picking up the first down for Goffstown.
Now, keep in mind we've got Goffstown is playing guys both ways. So Capos is playing on the line on offense and on defense. Belanger, same thing. And it's a hot day.
This one's going to be a handoff to Zach, who's
falls
going to
down.
try and cut that one back.
Which is odd. I mean, the field is in great shape. It's been dry. It's but we've had several players lose their footing.
Yeah, it's those quick cuts in this. I think it's relatively soft today, Scott. This soft grass that digs in a little deep to force the little miscues here.
So
Again,
Goffstown has a 2nd down, and I'd say 8. Call it a long 8.
there are 3 receivers on the far side of the field that all are covered by only about two defensive backs, and
that was a nice tackle by number 24, Parker Henriksen. A 3rd and 8. So this is a massive play. Goffstown, I'm not sure if they have a kicker, if the kicker can kick a 30-yard field goal, I don't know.
Yeah, Scott, if you're Goffstown here and you're willing to take the field goal, I'd look to see a run in the direction towards the middle of the field.
Correct.
So you can set your kicker up even better because you're on one of the far marks of the field.
Oh, he's going to run
He's going to keep it, and he's got the angle, and he
He's gonna
stretches
get in there
out for the first down.
He's in there for a touchdown?
They call a touchdown, Scott?
That's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown.
Yeah,
wow.
He went right to the pylon.
He went to the pylon, and he stretched out for a great effort play by Jared Hinault, and that was a great keeper on his part there, Scott. Really good effort. And you talked about
that drive was all Hinault.
Yeah, you talked about his determination coming in here like a man possessed, Scott. And
no, it's like
he looked like it there.
He was an angry person coming out of this drive. I mean, he said, if I need to do this, I'm a senior. I'm laying it all out in the line, and he proved it there.
See Ethan Bradley take the extra point here, and that's going to be right down the middle.
You know what? I think Bradley could kick a 30-yarder, 35 if he had to.
I think if it comes down to it,
yeah.
I think I would have some confidence in him. The only thing is, coming back after 2 weeks of not kicking should be a little interesting for him, but I think they've got him going in practice probably, Scott.
So we're all tied up here at Goffstown High School. A great drive by both Bedford and Goffstown here. So it's this is what I expected. I thought that we would see more of this.
Yeah, Scott, it's
not a defensive juggernaut in the first quarter.
Yeah, so that first quarter is going to be much different than the second quarter, looking at it on paper at least, as both teams get out to a drive and score. And let's see what Bedford can do coming back onto their field. Their offense and this return specialist team for Bedford is going to come back.
So now we've got another kickoff, and Goffstown kicked off in the first. Right, so I think Goffstown won the coin toss, and they deferred. So
you know what I look at here, Scott, the far
kick,
side of the field is wide open.
Kick it right in the middle. Kick it right in the middle of the field. That's all you do. Right in the middle of the field, not to number one.
Rallying his players, and that's a booming kick, and that one's going to end up in Kumbani's hands, and he goes right to the middle.
That's okay. Good coverage there.
I like the coverage there, Scott. So we talked about the placement of the punt there, and
Schaefer and Perry in on that tackle, and they'll get it at about the 32-yard line. So
somewhere around there.
I really like the different strategies. Before it was a short kick to the most talented player, arguably on the Bedford roster.
Yeah.
And now let's somebody else do some damage.
Scott, this Bedford team shaved their heads for the playoff. They are all in buzz cuts or something similar.
Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this entire Bedford team is in remote learning. I think that was their condition.
Really?
Yeah, the condition of playing football in Bedford was that they had to all be remote.
Interesting strategy there to keep their players healthy.
Handoff. Nice cutback. Number 21. That was Owen Christopher. And I tell you, Bedford's got like a stable of running backs here.
Yeah.
This is like their third. We saw a lot of Eli Menderson in the first game. But this is like the third different running back, and they've all seemed to be really fast.
Yeah, I think 5 people have taken the to run for Bedford, and that's including their 2 key skill players, Michael and Sanchez. So you just got to be careful here if you're Goffstown, and you got to be patient as well, as Sanchez is going to get it, and he's going to try and cut out that same
Dalton
hole.
Grabs him, and that'll do it for that one. And I think he lost yardage on that one, but they give him a generous spot.
Scott, we've seen the same play time and time again for Sanchez on the jet sweep here, and every time he's tried to cut up that goal, that hole made by the guard, the right guard for Bedford, but you've got George Pierce and Matt Dalton lined up in that spot. I don't really think there's going to be much of a hole made.
If you're Caden Perry, you gotta stay in your lane here. Don't
stay true, and that one's going to be a first down for Bedford, and he trips over his blocker. So lucky for Goffstown here is the trip there caused by the blocker there.
Yeah. So Flanagan with a tackle, but you know what? I got to give Bedford a lot of credit on the play calling, you know?
Yeah.
I think that they're confusing the defense of Goffstown a little bit because they have so many.
They're taking a timeout right now, Scott.
Goffstown is?
Yeah.
Yeah, because their guys are going 2 ways. They're gassed. And this is smart, okay? This is smart coaching because it's 5.5, little under 6 to play.
Yeah.
Rarely do timeouts come into play in a half anyway. But give your guys a little bit of a breather. Let them let him get some water.
We know about the 4-minute offense and the 2-minute offense. Are we going to see like a 6-minute offense where Bedford only runs the ball to try and run out this clock here, Scott?
I doubt it. I think you take what the team gives you, but Bedford's been very disciplined, and I really love their play calling today because, like you said, it's keeping the Goffstown defense off balance. You don't know if it's going to be a jet sweep. You don't know if it's going to be an inside handoff. You don't know if it's going to be a quarterback keeper or if he's going to throw deep. But keep in mind this, is that they've really only thrown the ball, 3 times in the game, and one of them was a touchdown deep. So, and then another 2 was a great catch on another one, and then it had drops.
Yeah.
So,
Scott, something that I've seen is Bedford has these masks that are attached to the face masks of their helmet, and those could probably cut out your vision on the lower half of your eyesight there, and that's probably why we saw Irwin trip over a lead blocker. He's going to get this handoff to the outside again, and he's going to spring it for a first down and more. These outside handoffs for Bedford have been working fabulously.
Was that a handoff? Or was that a pitch almost?
No, that was a handoff. Yeah. He came across the front side of the quarterback.
So it looks like they're attacking Goffstown's right side.
Yep.
So that would be, so now you see Hinault coming over to that side.
He's going to shift sides, and I'm going to guess that we see a run from Solomon Sanchez here, or in the opposite direction.
Opposite direction,
now. And it's going to be a fake, but that side is where they're going with the zone. And
see, I think Goffstown's defense has got to be wise to that. So Jarrett, Jarrett is so big. If Jarrett can be on that side where they're running to, it's gonna really be tough for Bedford to run.
Yeah, the wind's picking up here, Scott, and this is a place where I expect to see a little bit of passing from Bedford, probably a play action or an RPO, but maybe not with the wind starting to whip a little bit.
Second down and 8. Again, so only one receiver. You're going to see another probably Sanchez in motion again.
It's going to be a handoff to the outside, as it looked like Jared Hinault is being held on the outside as the roamer.
And the crazy thing that you're so funny that you say that, because we have not had a penalty really except for an offside. So it looks like the officials are pretty much letting things go.
Yeah, and
on both sides likely. So
Jared Hinault was completely turned around, and the blocker's hand was on the inside, right around that number 3 on his jersey, Scott.
So this is one where I don't know if Bedford would go for it on 4th down, because it's, again, with 4 minutes left, you might not want to give up that much field position.
But it is only about 3rd and 2, Scott. I'd expect to see just another run what Bedford has been doing so potently here, but could also go misdirection, and nope, it's going to be a jet sweep to Sanchez,
and he cuts up the middle and gets a first.
So, Scott, I just talked about it, where he was taking that same gap every single time and time again, and he takes it outside of the tackle this time. So
Antonio looks tired.
Yeah, I would be too, Scott. I can't lie.
But you know what? If you're Goffstown, then take another timeout if you need to. It's not gonna kill you.
Yeah, and you've got these players running left to right, trying to force these trying to play against the outside handoffs. So
Levesque, again, top of your screen is the cornerback with number 2. That would be
7 on that far.
Yeah. And Irwin goes up the middle, doesn't get much.
I'd say he doesn't get anything, Scott.
Yeah,
He's going to stay at the line.
There's so much pressure on Mikey Levesque at this point, because he's single coverage. Perry is kind of sucking up from the safety spot, so a slant and you're done.
But I do think something that they're doing here is they're hiding I believe Jeremy Hinault. Yeah, they're hiding Jeremy Hinault, and watch where he covers on this field. He sucks up as a strong safety linebacker position.
Reverse.
This one's going to be a reverse to Sanchez, but
here's the other thing too. No fumbles, no interceptions, no turnovers in this game, which is incredible. It speaks to the talent of both these teams.
Scott, we've been raving about this play calling here from Bedford, but I hate that play.
Yeah.
I hate that play, and here's why. You've got your best player, Solomon Sanchez, and you're moving him opposite to the ball, and that's great and all, but that's where everyone's going to move.
So now look where Sanchez is lined up. He's lined up in a slot receiver. Him and that would be Scaling.
So going back to it, you're moving your best player and your quarterback in the same direction. There's going to be more people there. You're not getting the misdirection that you want.
Nope.
diving catch, that's going to hit the ground, and that's going to be a 4th down and
now will
long.
they? Capos is coming up lame.
That's not good for Goffstown's front 4 here, Scott. And
timeout, and he's not hurried. He just might be gassed, and it's hard to tell. I mean,
someone who's been out most of the season, Scott, you want to keep him as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
Even if he's not hurt, if I'm one of the coaches here, I think about taking him out for the rest of the game.
So
just
the ball is on
forward.
So here's the interesting thing. I think the kicker for Bedford's pretty good. I saw him in warm-ups.
Yeah.
So it would be a 37-yard field goal. If you miss it, obviously you're going to turn it over, but it's also a 4th down and 10.
Yeah.
So it looks like, let's see what they're going to do here. They're going to kick it. Yep, they're going to kick it. So Michael's going to come out. He has the
Scott, I'd love to see someone like Mike Levesque or Caden Perry go back deep. They're also calling. There's only 10 people on the field, or 10 people on the field.
So
for Goffstown.
you can call a timeout if you're Goffstown, guys. Call a timeout. Timeout, Goffstown.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to do.
Good call by the Grizzlies. We almost heard the call from here.
I think we did. Scott.
We did. We have Goffstown coaching staff pretty close to us, and they're screaming timeout. Good call there, because you don't. For a couple of things, you don't want to only have 10 guys in the field because you could have a fake field goal,
and you get a flag too, Scott.
No.
Yeah, for
not enough guys in the field.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Yes.
No, you don't.
Illegal formation.
No.
Yes.
For not having enough guys. Are you sure about that?
I'm pretty positive.
All right.
About that.
We'll have to find out. You know who's going to criticize us is Rick Wilhelmi, Parks and Rec director.
Okay.
He watches this stuff and he's like, "Oh, you didn't know, yada yada." So Rick, if you're listening, text me. What is the deal on that one? If there's only, I don't think it is. I think you just have enough guys in the field. If you have 12, obviously it's a penalty, but you can have 8 on the field and no one cares.
Not sure
on
about
defense.
That one, Scott.
Yeah. Just puts you at a massive disadvantage. That's all.
So I'm going to count here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 men are on the field this time,
So
Scott.
Michael is going to attempt a 37-yard field goal and a big one here.
And
this is going to be a tight game. So
no one's set back deep for Goffstown, which I don't love.
No,
but
I like this one.
They do.
Put your big, tall guys up front.
Yeah, they do have the opportunity. And Matt Dalton breaks the. Oh,
he's not going to make that one.
He's not going to make that one.
Oh, you were right, by the way. You were right.
I don't. Matt Dalton did break the block there and almost got to it, but
I thought he'd at least kick it, close.
No, I think what Michael did is he hesitated and he wanted to put that one over the 6'7" big body of Matt Dalton, and he focused too much on height and didn't get it far enough.
Bro, I got to tell you, you've been correct a lot of times this year. I'm man enough to admit that. I am.
Me being correct does not make you any worse, Scott.
I know, but I'm just saying. I think you've had an all-state broadcasting year. I think you've done an awesome job.
Do I get to go out to get a special jersey or something?
I thought it would be hard to fill Alan Potvin's shoes, and I tell you, you've done great.
I don't have the voice of Alan Potvin, I will say.
No one has the voice of Mr. Potvin. He's legendary.
Motion here by Caden Perry, and he's going to take this one to the
outside.
Got speed. He's got room to get the first down.
Is he a track star, this kid?
He does play track.
Okay.
He runs. He competes in track, I guess you could say, Scott.
I'm just saying he's
part of, I believe he holds a school record for a relay team.
All right.
Somewhere.
There's a couple of guys, and even Levesque, too. I was like, man, I didn't know he was that fast.
Yeah.
So we got a 1st and 10. 2 minutes to play, a little more than that. Picard with the run up the middle. He breaks a couple. Oh, almost a face mask there.
I'm just
on number 11.
Awestruck time and time again by how the effort that Zach Picard puts in on these 5 to 7 yard runs that still break for him.
We got a 2nd and 3 at the 41. Motion is Hinault, but the quarterback keeper, and he gets quickly tackled by number. Great tackle. I'm sure who makes that one.
Scott, I
74. Sam Lacombe with a great play.
There's only one timeout left here for Goffstown, but if they did have a timeout, I wouldn't mind seeing one taken here. But I don't think that will happen.
No, you don't want to call a timeout because you don't want to give them more time. So
that is true.
On this play, if you
that one's going to go to Picard, and he's
got it.
Got it.
He's got it, I think. They might have to call timeout here for a measurement.
And they are.
And let's see where they put the ball. I think he's got it based upon where the ref has his feet. So
they're going to give it to him. They're not going to call out the chain
yeah.
gang for measurements, Scott, but they're going to give him the first down.
So now, does Goffstown call a timeout here? I say no because you don't need to.
Nope.
So a minute and 12 seconds.
You just got a generous stoppage of play here from the
Sasso and Caden Perry are on the near side of your screen.
And they're relying solely on safety and linebacker help here on this far side, or this close side, rather. So I'd love to see a pass in this direction. And that's where it's going to go to Caden Perry deep as he gets pushed.
Oh, he got pushed.
That is a
How
pass
do you not
interference.
throw a flag on that one?
That is a
my
pass
goodness.
interference. And Caden Perry is tossing his hands
He's
up.
saying that their feet, the referee is saying that their feet got caught up with each other, so maybe he's right. So we'll see that on a replay, perhaps.
I totally and utterly disagree with you, Scott. There was a hand thrown by number 10.
I thought that was a lot of hands, but again, we have replay in the studio, right?
Yep.
So we don't have the luxury of seeing the replay, but hopefully we can show it. And did their feet just get caught up, or did number 10 initiate that with his hands? It looked like from here that it was his hands.
I mean, I do give the benefit of the doubt to the refs. I guess they are right there on the field, so.
And that's one of the toughest calls to make, pass interference.
Yeah. Also, it's not a spot call like the NFL, so it wouldn't benefit Goffstown all that much, as we're going to see an outside run by Zach Picard.
And he goes out of bounds.
He goes out of bounds, but are they calling that the clock running still?
You can't. Now, 55 seconds. That's now brings up a long 3rd and 7.
Yeah, the clock was not running on that play, Scott, so.
The clock appears to not have.
Yeah, the clock didn't run on that one, so.
They're getting a timeout here by the referee because the clock appears to not have run down.
No, that was actually an 8-second runoff, Scott. I had it here recorded on the iPad. We're calling a 10-second runoff from the Bedford sideline. So
it's 8 seconds, folks.
8-second runoff. I had it down to 47 seconds. So I'm taking a peek here at the replay that we're seeing at the YouTube stream, and it was most definitely some hand fighting there from the Bedford safety as we're watching it here a little after you.
Oh, yes, that's clearly. He pushed him.
Yeah.
He pushed him. So I'm going to go back and say, you know what, that wasn't a good call because now, granted, Perry was backing up.
Yep.
But he got pushed.
Yep. And I'd argue that it was definitely.
So how come the clock didn't move? Is there a problem with? It could be a problem with our score clock.
Keeper here, and
now
that's
going to
go down.
So now you're going to punt if you're Goffstown.
Yeah,
you are not going to go for it. Timeout, Bedford. Timeout, Bedford. And I happen to agree with the Bedford coach on this one. There was about 7 to 8 seconds that did not go off the clock.
The only thing is, I don't like the motives here used by the Bedford coach. He just approached a ref and then pulled down his mask on top of that, Scott. That is, I don't think that in the nature of today, approaching a ref is not the best, but with your mask down is not much better, Scott.
Yeah. You know, these guys, they get caught up in the moment. The coach for Bedford's a good guy. Met him. We met him, or maybe you didn't. Last year we did. Great guy. So I don't think that there's any ill intention by Zach Matthews.
So coming from our studio, I just got a note. Their feet did tangle, but the result of the cause of the fall
was the push. Yeah.
Their feet tangled on the way down, pretty much, Scott.
And now it makes you wonder, if the it's almost to Goffstown's advantage if there was 8 seconds, less on the clock.
Yeah, I would totally agree with you, Scott. As this one, I'd love to see them just pin it deep. That's all you need to do here.
Well,
do not go towards Sanchez.
So Zach Picard should kick it to the bleachers.
Yep. Give a fan a souvenir for about 15 seconds.
Kick it to the 20-yard line, and don't even give an opportunity for Bedford for a punt return. And that's what he does.
Is going to shank, and yep.
That's okay.
Drops
30-yard line.
Drops about 29-ish.
31. They're giving it to him.
So, Scott, we've talked about the clock already. That one took off a whole 5 seconds.
Yeah. So let's see what Bedford does here. Do they try to throw the ball and create? Because you're not going to be able to do this on running plays. That's just not going to happen.
Scott, what I'm going to guess here is a play action with a slant over the middle to Solomon Sanchez, who's going to try and break it down the field. I don't think we've seen too much. The only time we've seen a deep pass from Bedford is their touchdown, but Goffstown's going to come out in a passing set
so
here.
Sanchez is in the slot. He's being initially guarded by Pollo. You got to respect him.
Bubble out here from the Bedford running back. That's going to be their check down, but.
And that's where you got a good pass rush.
So
by number 76.
Number 11 is calling for a pass interference on this one. And, Scott, I'm going to tell you why it's not. He's saying that that the pass was intended for him and that Jarrett Hinault was wrapping him up before the ball got here.
Yeah.
It's not, because that ball is nowhere near catchable, Scott.
Yeah.
So he did not impede the receiver enough to force.
You got to be careful here if you're Bedford, too. You don't want to turn the ball over. You know? So you got to just, in some respects, maybe you just say, hey, let's be happy that it's 7-7. So maybe you take one more shot at it, and if you don't get it, then you just do a running play.
And that's looks like what they're going to do.
Oh, there we go. That's a pizza.
The line.
There's a pizza right there, number 52. Pizza, pizza, pizza.
I'm not sure what you mean there, Mike.
I said Al Halpern is buying a pizza for every block, and Al Halpern will be buying a pizza on that one.
I would have loved a little bit of context before you yelled pizza
about 4
times on
but
live
television.
television.
Pregame I said, we should be getting so many blocks, tip balls, because our guys are 6'7".
Yeah, and that's exactly what happened there with 6'7" Matt Dalton.
Exactly.
And I'm definitely going to be clipping you
call
screaming pizza.
Call up
6
Pizza
times.
Market or Victor's or whatever you want to do.
Motion here is Sanchez, and he's going to end up with it, and he tries to take that guard gap.
Now, call timeout. Call timeout if you're Goffstown. Call it. I'm surprised. Let them punt. I don't get it. They're content to go in.
It'd be 20 seconds left in the half. I don't know how much you benefit from taking a couple extra hits on your key offensive players here for Goffstown.
Yeah,
this one,
and that'll do
they're
it.
just going to let it run down. So, Scott,
great game. We knew this was going to be the case.
So they came down to the gridiron, and they got locked on this gridiron. We're seeing a 7-7 tie right now between Bedford and Goffstown here in Goffstown. And as we head into a half, tied between these two very good playoff teams, as we will see you after the break.
All right.
Playoff action from last night in D1, NHIAA action north in Merrimack from Stello Stadium, and it starts early and it goes often for Nashua North. Here you're going to see the handoff to Jaden Espinal as he takes it the rest of the way for the first score of the game. This is going to be a common theme. Very next drive for North, first play of that drive, they take the handoff, and once again it's Jaden Espinal as he does quite a bit of work here on this one and goes and takes a breather. So what do? They hand it off to their sophomore here, for the running back, Derek Finlay. Now, this Nashua North team is super deep, and you can see here a nice run that he peels off. After that, though, it was perhaps the front runner for the Gatorade Player of the Year, Curtis Harris-Lopez. He takes it here and a nice move. He's got a score, and Nashua North going up 14-0 on this one. The very next drive, you're going to see a lot of this. Curtis Harris-Lopez here with a long one, looking for somebody to find him, and nobody is there with him as Nashua North goes up 21-0. This might be the play of the game, though, for Curtis Harris-Lopez as they're backed up on 3rd and 5, and he takes it and does the rest almost all the way down, crosses the field on this one. A terrific play. Him in open space. It's just a deadly combination. Loses the handle on the ball, but it goes out of bounds here, and Nashua North continues to roll. It was not all offense. Look at this play here. Toby Brown Jr. getting the interception. The sophomore getting in on the action for Nashua North as they go on to roll. Final score 42-12 as they move on now to face the winner of Londonderry and Salem.
Yeah, so in those last videos, we did talk about having the right amount of firefighters available to respond to each and every emergency call, so we can safely respond safely for the public and then also for our providers. And some of the challenges we face today are, as we talked about, the decrease in the amount of call firefighters we have today. And secondly, our part-time staff are limited in the number of hours they can work through the Affordable Care Act. So one of the ways we can help the public and not financially impact them are through grant opportunities. And in 2019, Goffstown Fire Department was awarded a SAFER grant. We were the only fire department in New Hampshire to be awarded that particular grant. And what that does is that allows us to hire 4 additional firefighters back in 2019. And it's a 75% of the grant is funded by FEMA, 25% funded by the town in the first year. Second year is the same way, and then the third year it's 35% FEMA, 65% the town. And in 2020, there's another opportunity to apply for another SAFER grant. And this one's really, really unique, and the select board has given the fire chief the authority to go ahead and apply for that. And the reason why this grant is unique is it's actually 100% paid for the next 3 years. So what that does is allows us to hire 4 additional firefighters, and it's 100% paid by FEMA for those 3 years. So what that does is that helps offset our budget for 3 years, bringing down our overtime and part-time costs. And then eventually that will have to be voted on by the voters to allow them to continue after the 3rd year. So on this year's budget process, the town, when they go to vote, they'll see a warrant article that says SAFER grant to apply for firefighters. So that is voting to allow the town to accept funds at 100% where FEMA would pay those costs for the employees' portion. If anyone has any questions, they're welcome to call the fire department. They can ask to me, or if they stop by, I'll be more than happy to share the information with them.
And we are back, folks, to the second half of the Division I quarterfinal game between the Bedford Bulldogs and the Goffstown Grizzlies. The score is tied 7-7. Broden, great game so far.
Scott, really good game and some really big implications here coming in for Goffstown and Bedford, as the winner of this game is going to take on the Winnicunnet football team. So I believe we're getting the playoff bracket up here on the screen, as you're going to see all of the matchups around the state.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Let's make mention here that the Exeter Bluehawks had to forfeit, unfortunately, due to COVID-19. So this is really the craziness of this football season, is that good football teams are having to forfeit, due to the pandemic.
Yeah, and that's a tough.
And it can happen to anybody, right? I mean,
it's a tough go, and Wyndham may not get, or Winnicunnet may not get to the spot if that doesn't happen.
Yeah. So just unfortunate, but I think every coach has, especially with football, has said, you know what, take every game as if it's your last, win or lose, because of the COVID-19 pandemic. So I think a testament to the coaching staff of both Goffstown and Bedford, as well as so many of the other teams in Division I, in terms of keeping the players healthy. As I mentioned before, part of the stipulation to play football for Bedford was that you were going to have to be a remote learner. Goffstown did not do that. So Goffstown had won the coin toss. They elected to defer. So the kickoff will be Michael and to Goffstown. And I think for Goffstown, they have had a pretty good second half in terms of this season. And I think this first drive is going to say a lot.
Yeah. Whether that's positive or negative.
Right. And I'm not saying that they need to score, but getting a few first downs, getting good field position, I think is imperative for Goffstown.
Sure to see Michael, the quarterback turned kicker too, take the kickoff here as this one's going to be sent short for Goffstown, and Barry's going to take that one. That's Owen Barry.
That was a tough play.
That's a tough play. As
Holy cow.
He's got pressure bearing down on him there.
Yeah.
And
I mean, he bobbles that. The guy was right on him.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Goffstown was truly expecting almost an onside kick there. That's what it was.
Great preparation there from Owen Barry as he hauls that one in. And pretty good starting field position for a crucial drive here for the Goffstown Grizzlies.
And you know what? This is great field position, so it might, if you're close, you might go for it on a fourth down.
I would say so,
yeah.
Scott. Motion here from Jeremy Hinault, and this one's going to be a handoff to Picard.
But number 24 in on the tackle, 74 I should say. Sam Lacombe has made a lot of tackles from his defensive line position.
Yeah, he's been playing really good for Bedford today as he's getting off the block and getting in on these inside zone runs here for Picard. I'd love to see a pass here from Goffstown and take a bite on 2nd and 9 from this
Hinault.
long, but Hinault's going to keep it.
And he gets to about the 46-yard line they're going to give him. So it's going to be a long 3rd down and 6.
Scott, I would have loved a little bit more of a chunk play there for Goffstown.
I agree, and it's just like it's that very predictable, run,
pass
yeah.
on 3rd down.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Maybe you run again on this one.
I think the linebackers are ready for a run, and that
no, it wasn't. He did not cross. We're pretty close to the 50-yard line.
That's
here.
close though, Scott.
You gotta hike it. Oh
They're
my
gonna
goodness!
Get a flag. Oh, that's a rough go for Goffstown.
And you heard the sideline hike. 4 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like. Now what I don't like is this. You have the referee or the back judge, right? He's like this. He has his hand down low.
Yeah.
How the hell can you see that? Your hand is supposed to be up.
Yeah.
When you start the 10 seconds.
Yeah.
This is not basketball.
But
okay?
at the same time, Scott,
Yeah.
he did get a call over from his sideline. So
I know that, but the quarterback is looking up. He's not looking down. He can't see past that line.
This is going to be a 10.
So it'll be a 3rd and 10.
It's going to be a designed rollout, a bootleg pass, that is, and he's going to keep it instead of passing it, and he stretches
he's
out.
Not there. He's not there. He's short by a yard.
I say go for it here, Scott.
Maybe 2. He's short by 2 yards.
They're hurrying it up here, Scott, and I think they are going for it.
I go for it. I mean, listen, this. And I think you got to give this. This has got to be a keeper to Hinault.
Has to be, Scott.
And if you can't pick up a yard, then you know what? That's life. This has been your whole season.
And he gets it.
He does.
He gets it. First thing he did when he hit the ground was look over to that far sideline on the other side there,
But what
Scott.
I'm trying to say is if this Goffstown team can't pick up a yard in that situation, then
they don't deserve it.
They don't deserve it. So, I mean, they've done it all season long. They ran over Capos at, I think, number 70 on the right side of that line.
Who is back after getting off a little gingerly a couple drives ago.
I think that was just wind, I mean, I think he hasn't played. And
there's going to be a pass to the outside to Lopez, who makes a move and gets the first. That's a great play for Lopez.
And he's batting the balls. He's like, man, if I broke this one, he's got so much speed.
Yeah, Scott. Last year, he had the lone touchdown in the regular season against Bedford on a tunnel screen. So it's going to be another first down here for Goffstown, and this one's going to be a handoff to Picard, who stretches out for about 3 or maybe 4.
Yeah, Picard hasn't been able. This is what I was saying maybe it wasn't on the pregame, but Bedford matches up well in terms of big, strong linemen, and it's hard to run the ball against them like they have in the past against these other teams who are not as good.
Definitely, Scott.
And what I'm saying is that Bedford will give you up 3, 4, 5 yards, but they're not giving up 8 and 9 like other teams have.
Scott, on this close side, you're looking at the defensive back matchup, and it's going to be a fake pass, and this is going to be a quarterback keeper.
And he's shy by about a half yard.
That is what they like to call a quarterback draw, Scott. And
yep.
it was sold pretty well by Jarrett Hinault, but I'm really questioning Bedford's scheme here because it's going to be negative for them either way. As there's 3 defensive backs and 3 wide receivers on one side and no safety help on the far side, so somebody is going to get burnt. Keeper here on the option play for Hinault, and he's going to get there for the first.
What a fake. Everybody converged on Picard there.
Yeah.
Everybody. 3 defenders converged on Picard.
And I will say, Jared Hinault laid the lumber into number 11 there on that hit as he stayed down for a couple extra seconds.
So Goffstown has the ball at the 11. They can, and that's
motion to Perry, and he cuts, and that's good for.
He got pushed from behind. He gets to 7 yards.
Yeah, that's a bad tackle there for Bedford as he gives him more than
if he doesn't do. But if he doesn't do that, I think he scores a touchdown. It's hard to see from here.
Perry's incredibly agile, so I don't doubt that he could get around a tackle. As this is going to be a 2nd and 3 on the 4-yard line, Scott.
That's motion by Goffstown. That's going to be a Goffstown penalty. Bring them back 5 yards. Inopportune time on that one.
Yeah, as we were just talking about the placement of the ball here, Scott.
Now it'll be a 2nd and 8, so this is a penalty that kills you.
But Scott, we've seen back-to-back first downs, and Goffstown is driving. I don't let this get to your momentum if you're Goffstown here. You just say, all right, 2nd down and 8. We've picked up 10, 12, 14 on back-to-back-to-back plays. Screen pass to Caden Perry, who's got an angle to the outside. He's got a touchdown. Touchdown, Caden Perry on the screen pass. What a play for Goffstown to go up here 13-7 right now, Scott. That's a really good play.
I just don't know if I got out of the way of the camera
I think you did, Scott.
Aiden will let me know. Did I, Aiden? Not really. Okay. I'm not as fast as Caden Perry.
Yeah.
I didn't get out of the way.
Caden Perry got to the outside quite quickly, but Scott, on the other hand, did not. So we apologize, but Caden Perry did slip in for the touchdown there for Goffstown. As that kick is good as ever, Scott.
And that's, if you're Goffstown, that's what you wanted. You wanted to set the tone, come out with a quick score.
Yeah, Scott. We've got somebody out there with the loudspeaker or whatever it is, and they're sounding a siren. And I think if you're Bedford, you're sounding your own siren here as momentum's looking to shift towards Goffstown.
It's shifted, but you know what? Listen, this is what happened before. Bedford went down, had the first score of the game. Goffstown countered. Now it's an opportunity for Bedford to go score a touchdown and counter. This is all a game of momentum, and clearly, Bedford is capable of scoring.
Yeah, so we're going to see the special teams unit here come out for Goffstown and for Bedford. And we've talked a lot about kickoffs today, Scott, and more specifically that number 1, Solomon Sanchez.
And Solomon Sanchez is in the second, what do you call that?
Level.
Second level, right?
And I'd say he's actually in the third because you've got number 3 and number 80 hugged down close to this line. I'd love to see a cross-field kick.
I'd see an onside kick. Look, over there, there's only one guy.
And that's going to be a line drive. That's a screamer down, and that's bobbled. Ooh, good hit.
Hinault and who is it?
Perry.
Hinault and Perry.
The safety duo, Scott.
Yeah. So at the 25-yard line, Bedford takes over, but that was a great kickoff.
Yeah, really good kickoff. It really had this odd spin to it, Scott. It was.
Yeah.
We see the end-over-end kicks that rotate. On the y-axis. This one was rotating on the x-axis.
Now we're doing, just because you saw Mr. Bracey here, I don't know if you'd be talking about axes, but so, again, weird thing, no turnovers in this game, which has been just a testament to these two teams.
And my axis work may be off there. I don't know. It's a weekend, Scott, so I'm done with math.
That same play again.
They're trying to. Yeah. So Bedford this entire time has tried to pull off this misdirection, trying to send Solomon Sanchez away from the run, and it looks like Goffstown's picked it up quite well, Scott.
Well, I don't know. It's that counter play where everybody is going in one direction. It clearly worked in that first half, but maybe there's some adjustments being made by Goffstown.
I think there is, because they're going to come out in a completely different, it looks like 3 or 4 wide here for Bedford.
And you got to be careful for number 1. So Poyo, got to be careful here because right up the middle.
Poyo's quick, but I do take a step or two back if I'm him. Give him a little bit of some cushion there. this one's going to be a fake, and that's batted down at the line, but caught by Kambani, who's got the angle, and he's wrestled down. No, he's not. He could go.
Because you know why?
No.
The reason why he was not taken down was they all went for the strip.
Yeah.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
2 of the players went for strips and not for the tackle.
Yeah, that's a tough go for Goffstown as Bedford's going to gain a lot of ground, but there's a flag. Let's see what this one is, Scott, as we've seen a relatively clean game.
Pass interference on Goffstown.
I'm
That's
sorry. I don't agree with that one, Scott.
On who? That would be on Poyo? Or?
I believe they said number 7, who wasn't even near the ball. But I just don't agree with that.
So it'll be a 1st and 10.
I mean, we're seeing the replay probably right about now, and I just did not see anything worthy of a call there, Scott.
All right, a good play, but I'm telling you, that ball, he should have been around the 45-yard line.
Actually, no, that's not a pass interference. It was batted down at the line. As soon as that ball is touched, you can make any contact with a receiver. I don't agree with that at all.
But was it batted?
I called it, Scott. That is you know what? That's an awful call.
Number 14, Cooper Flanagan. Well, if our replay shows that it's batted, then you're right. But it wouldn't matter anyway because
I understand it doesn't matter. It's
decline penalty.
But that's a terrible call in my opinion.
So this is all going to be on the Goffstown defense here to see if they can. We got timeout.
A player down on the field there for Bedford.
So, again, very quick for Goffstown. Jumps up on a 14-7 lead as we start off in the second half. But Bedford, boom. Big play, 50-yard play. And
so I'm taking a look at the late replay here, Scott. And I want to see if it's batted down at the line because I'm pretty sure it is. I called that it was. There is contact at the line. There is contact with the ball at the line. There's no pass interference there.
Yeah. Well, maybe, like I said, if he didn't see it, I think the key here is that on that, rarely one of the strengths of this Goffstown team is their tackling ability. That was one of the few times where looks like 2 players went for the strip and didn't go for the tackle.
Yeah,
and you got to go for the tackle first and then let the other guy go for the strip. And in that particular time, both guys went for the strip.
Yeah, you go high-low there on the tackle, whatnot. As it looks like the player for Bedford is still being tended to down on the field.
He's going to get up now, so.
Yeah, he gets up. That's number 70. That's an offensive lineman there, Michael Kubicki.
And luckily, he's coming off gingerly, but he looks okay. So a good news there.
So we're going to see, Scott, I hate to capitalize off of an injury, but a player has to come off if they are down on the ground.
That's true, yeah.
I'd love to see them attack the point of where this offensive lineman is coming off
But keep in mind that number 70 has been going in and out for another player because they've been taking turns, so I know that.
It's a wildcat with Solomon Sanchez here, so watch the middle linebacker Seth Osborne and see what he does as Picard's going to come in for the wildcat coverage as well, as this one's going to break to the outside. It's all up to Caden Perry, who wrestles him down quite well, Scott, for that matter.
That was a hold. That's a hold on Bedford. It was Hinault got pretty much dropped down, a wrestling move actually.
Funny we say that. We talk about his wrestling background all the time.
So that's going to bring back a first down, and it's going to be a second down and probably like 15 or more.
I'd say around there, Scott. I'm saying about 14, and that's.
And you've been calling that, Broden. You've been saying that there's been a lot of holding.
Yeah.
And they haven't been calling it,
especially on Jared Hinault.
On Hinault. So a critical play right there, penalty, I should say, for the Bedford Bulldogs.
I agree with that penalty. That was a penalty there, and I could consider that a makeup call as well, as we've seen it all game. But we did hear some distaste over here from this sideline.
Yeah. So Michael is in at QB again, and we're going to see the same type of plays where you got Sanchez in motion, number 32 running back Russell Irwin. And he doesn't get it.
Roll out. Watch where Sanchez is. Uzi keeps his eyes back there, and that's way out of bounds.
Yeah, it was out of bounds. That was great coverage by Uzi and number 1, Mikey Levesque. So we talked about Levesque having to have a good game, and so far so good. I think on that one touchdown, arguably there was no safety help there, or safety help was late.
It was pulled up there because you're committing to the run. So, Scott, what I really like there is Uzi Mpoyo's eyes.
Yeah.
He's been a really key defensive player this year, and he showed that with his eyes too, Scott. And he really keeps his eyes in the right spot there, and he turns his head looking for who he's supposed to be on, and that's Solomon Sanchez.
Third down and 18. Goffstown crowd is cheering defense, but there's just not that many of them to really hear them.
Yeah.
Due to the limited fans. Pass.
That's a holding on Capos all day, as this one's going to be tossed up in an interception
Mikey Levac.
by Mikey Levac. And he could take this, Scott. He's got some return, at least down to the 45, and that's where he's going to be tackled.
What a great play by Mikey
really
Levac.
Great play. And we just said it, Scott. We've been calling this game, I'd say, pretty well.
I told you Mikey Levac was going to be a key to this game.
Exactly. And he does just that as he comes up with a big interception and an even bigger return.
Yeah.
As he's going to bring this one down to about the 45, Scott, for a first down.
That was our first turnover of the game, and Mikey Levac, his eyes were locked in on that ball.
So, Scott, something that comes into question here is Michael's decision-making. He got out of the pocket. He got away from Capos and Dalton, but he made the wrong decision. He threw to a place where there were 4 players, and there was an equal distribution of jerseys there. There were two dark jerseys and 2 white jerseys there for Goffstown and Bedford. So just a jump ball, and Mikey Levesque's the one that comes down and runs away with it.
If you're Goffstown, if you can put points on the board here, sends a big message.
It's going to be an option, and Hinault's going to break to the outside.
He picks up 7 with almost no effort.
Yeah, Scott, he had a lane to the outside. If Caden Perry could have set a block, I think, and Hinault had the speed to get to the outside, I think that's a 30-yard run. But instead, he's going to take a lump sum of 7 here, and it's going to be 2nd and 3 for Goffstown. This is a total shift of momentum right now, Scott, as we're going to see the offense come out here after a big play by Mikey Levac, and really, really huge play, Scott. And this is going to turn the tide, I think, as this is going to be a keeper. And Hinault lays the wood there on
he's
on a
close
lineman.
to a first, maybe a yard shy.
Lays the lumber.
They're
I said
not
the
getting,
wood. I don't know what I meant there.
This guy here, closest to us, this ref, has the best view, and that's a good spot.
That's a really good spot.
Very
It's
good
be
spot.
3rd, and I'd say just a couple.
It's
2 feet.
No, it's a little more than that. It's a 3rd and a yard.
He laid a hit on a lineman there, Scott.
I'd
like to revisit that one.
I think you do the same exact thing here. I think it's quarterback.
Quick snap. Picard's on the field this time, and I think the ball goes to him, and it does. And he breaks a couple tackles after a little bit of breather there for
okay, look where
Zach
Dalton.
Picard.
Look where Dalton is. Okay, when your offensive lineman on a running play is 7 to 8 yards downfield,
That's
says
exactly
something.
what you want, Scott. And Zach Picard got a little bit of a breather there after playing both ways for Goffstown, and Uzi Mpoyo was in there, and Zach Picard on his first snap out really, really makes a great play. And credit the line for that one as well, as we were just talking about. Motion to Perry, and he's going to end up with it, but he can't.
Oh, wow,
turn the
what
corner.
a play.
Really great play by number 74, who we've talked a whole lot about.
Was it 74 or 24?
I think that was 74 there. That was
24.
It was?
Parker Henriksen. He grabbed his jersey. And if he doesn't grab his jersey, Perry's off to the races.
Yeah, he had the angle there to get to the outside, and trips down low, and again, that same safety help required here for Bedford in the secondary. And QB draw here is, again, another big hit laid by Jared Hinault.
Yeah, but he didn't get much on that one. And, at some point, Goffstown's going to have to throw the ball to set up the run, because Bedford is just stuffing. They're just committing too many guys.
Yeah, they've got a big defensive front here, Scott, and you can't run to that spot every single time.
This is where you miss a Peyton Strickland who can go over the middle. I'm just saying.
I like Will Sasso on the outside sideline here, Scott, and I think that's where he's going to go, and the play's going to change. And let's see, Hinault calling it out for his offensive teammates here as Picard's going to shift where he is in the backfield. And instead it's going to be a curl route ran by Jeremy Hinault, and Caden Perry wide open over the middle. Stay on your feet.
Touchdown! Caden Perry!
Incredible balance displayed there by Caden Perry. He got hit at the ankles, and I said, stay on your feet. And that's what he does, Scott. Great play by Caden Perry. Wow.
That's what we talked about. You have to throw the ball because they're committing too much.
Yeah, and I've said it time and time over here in this game. There's 3 defensive backs and no safety help in the same spot every single time. And look, we capitalize off of it there, Scott. That one's going to be...
That was a lemon, but it goes through.
Hey, if it gets through those uprights, you can't complain too much, can you, Scott?
So let's go back to Bedford's drive, all right? Massive play. They then get down to around the 20-yard line, and Solomon Sanchez gets a first down, but there's a hold.
Yeah.
And then next play on a 3rd and long, Mikey Levesque just picks it out of thin air and returns it to the 50.
A great play by Mikey Levesque there to pick it out of the air, but again, you have to take into the question is the decision-making there for Michael. He got out of that pocket. He was able to capitalize off of the pass rush. I think he set his feet, Scott, but he put it into the wrong spot. The spot where you don't want to go if you're a quarterback, where it's just a toss-up ball.
Well, this game is not over by any stretch, folks, and you all know that from watching this rivalry over the last decade.
Yeah.
Bedford and Goffstown teams do not give up. So look for Bedford to string together some first downs. You know, the one thing that Bedford has to be cognizant of is time. Okay, so we've got 2 minutes and 24 seconds in the third, and you just got to be mindful of clock because you're only going to get maybe 3 or 4 more possessions for the rest of this game if you're Bedford.
It's in question where Goffstown's going to put it here, and that's another low-hanging line drive kick, but Kumbani's going to come up with this one. And great tackle through a block by Jeremy Hinault.
Wow.
30-yard
line. Jeremy Hinault shed a blocker, and you know what?
He didn't even shed the blocker, Scott.
Yeah,
he was still on the block, and he made the tackle. That's an incredible play by Jeremy Hinault.
Jeremy Hinault is probably one of the best tacklers on this team, if not the best.
And I made up that saying just a little bit ago. He gives up pounds, but not ground, Scott. He makes some really good tackles, especially in the open field, even though he's a player that may not be the biggest guy on the field or even the biggest guy in a one-on-one matchup.
So again, this is a game of possessions, and Bedford's looking at probably, barring any turnovers, 3 possessions for the rest of this game, so they got to score here.
This is going to be a handoff to Irwin.
Nothing.
I believe that's Irwin, yes.
And I wonder if they're going to try a hurry up here because, you've got Goffstown players playing on both sides of the ball. They got to be a little gassed.
Yeah, that looks like what they're trying to do here, but Bedford has been reliant on this substitution, especially in the backfield, a lot during the game, and you can't rely on that if you go into hurry up because the minute you substitute on offense, the defense gets a chance to as well.
Irwin in the backfield. So they're going to hand off to Irwin. Oh,
really good hit
right
there.
Into Dalton.
I believe that was
Belanger. My apologies,
rather.
Belanger. Right into his chest.
Yeah.
He cut right into his chest.
We heard that one from up here, even with our headphones on, Scott. That was a hit there.
So for Bedford, arguably, this is one of their most important plays of this game. It's 3rd down and 7 with under a minute and a half to play, and they can ill afford to turn the ball, to turn it over to Goffstown here.
Yeah, so Irwin set out wide in the slot, rather. So there's a lone backfield. I'd love to see some middle linebacker pressure here, maybe from Lydek, and he's going to sit over the top and find the gap, but that's...
I don't like that. That was just so soft.
Yeah, it was soft coverage there from Goffstown, and that's gonna cost them first.
Well, and here's the thing. Did you notice the three defensive the linemen?
Yeah.
They're too close together. You got to spread them out, okay?
Yeah, especially get some set the edge pressure there,
right.
Especially if you've got guys like Dalton.
Right, there was no edge pressure, so we had 3 guys, and it's hard to break free. Sanchez in motion. He takes the handoff. He cuts back. Could be trouble.
This could be trouble. He uses that referee almost like a screen, Scott.
And that's a first down. So with 36 seconds left, this is exactly what Bedford needed. It was a 3rd down and 8. They pick up a first down on I call it a pass over the middle, which almost seems like Goffstown gave it to him on that one.
Yeah, so we are going to see substitutions for both teams as Bedford was looking to get into this hurry up, but now you're going to see some non-winded players come in for Goffstown, and this is beneficial to Goffstown 100%.
So Caden Perry playing deep safety. And it's a pass play. No rush, though. And Sasso wraps him up.
Yeah, really.
Finished by number 3, Hinault.
Really.
And that'll do it for the third.
That should run out the third. Yep, Scott. Really good tackling there by Sasso, rather, who's proved to be a pretty good coverage player, but he makes a nice tackle there. So
as we go into the fourth with Goffstown leading 21-7, here's my prediction or things that have to happen. If you're Bedford, you need some quick scores, and you need big scores, I should say. Running the ball and having 5 and 6, 7-minute drives may not be in your best advantage.
Yeah.
That's one. And secondly, if you're Goffstown, when you're on offense, if you can run the ball and string together 3, 4 first downs, even if you don't score, time will be against Bedford.
Yeah. And their lone touchdown for the Bulldogs today was that play action deep shot, and they haven't had much success after that. I mean, they got down to the red zone, as they like to call it, Scott, and then turned the ball over. So I'd like to see a couple, if I'm a Bedford Bulldog fan, I'd like to see a couple deep shots here called by the coaches. But you also want to be smart, and you don't want to turn this ball over, because a turnover would almost seal this game, Scott.
Yeah, I think you're right. The other thing, if you're Bedford, I think you got to kind of stay true to what's been working, and you got to put the ball in Solomon Sanchez's hands. He's just so talented.
Yeah. Yeah, Bedford's sideline is saying it's not over, and as much as I am a home fan here for Goffstown, I completely agree, Scott.
It's definitely not over. I mean, Bedford has big play capability. The one thing that I haven't really seen a whole lot is there's really been no pass rush for Goffstown today.
Yeah.
Maybe one.
And that was the one that forced the interception. So if we can get it even more, as we see number 21.
Fumble!
That's a fumble! And that's
picked up.
Jump back on, but that could have been massive, Scott.
Number 21, Owen Christopher, but Capos was right there. So Capos was there, but I tell you, Antonio always looks like he's lumbering, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he's just a big body.
I know that I'm
saying.
There. Even when it's not a reason to, he just looks like he's. So now it's another big 3rd down and 8 play. And this might be one where you might have to go for it if you're Bedford on a 4th down, but Bedford has been able to convert these 3rd and longs.
Empty shotgun set. It looks like the quarterback is calling something for his tight end, number 11 there, as we're going to see him come off.
There you go. Look at Capos.
Capos gets the quarterback with the hand.
Oh, my goodness.
What a play for
Antonio Capos.
And he comes up screaming as he should.
Oh, my goodness.
What a play.
Oh, Mike. That was unreal. It was a bull rush, and he pulled him down.
One hand pulled down by Antonio Capos, who is a force to be reckoned with.
And that's
going to force a punt.
They have to punt. I mean, that was a game-changing play.
Wow. Way to break the game there, big man. Antonio Capos just
you know what?
Fights his way through that block.
You rarely see emotion from him. He's just such a good guy.
And he got up.
And he came up fired up. So you got to be careful here. I don't do this. I keep one guy back.
Scott, fair catch. No matter where the ball is placed, you got to fair catch this one if you're Goffstown.
I watch out for the fake.
It's way too far back for a fake, but this should be a fair catch from Schaefer, but he's gonna take the opportunity.
Be careful. Don't turn the ball over. All right.
He's gonna get like 3 or 4 yards there, Scott, which I'm not opposed to, but I think
so.
You just get down
on play
this one.
By Antonio.
Wow.
Holy cow. Hopefully you can see the replay on that, folks. One-handed.
Yeah, and Scott, we talked about that being a game-changing play, and there's playoff implications. So this could shake up. That one play could shake up the entire bracket, Scott.
Well, it's safe to say here that if Goffstown were to score in this drive, it'll be kind of game over.
I think I totally agree with you, Scott, as this is crucial for Bedford to get a stop in here, which has not been all that easy here today.
Oh.
Looks like you got some you're wrapped up a little bit.
Yeah, I screwed up my knee just by cheering.
Hand off to Picard, who's got a really good hole to start this drive off.
He picks up 5.
Scott, we talk about blockers being far downfield, and it's a different thing when you're far downfield and you're standing straight up. That's what Nate Belanger was doing there. It was so effortless to him that he was literally just walking forward and standing almost completely straight up.
So really what Goffstown needs to do here is just get first downs. I mean, and if they're able to really just chew up the clock, get those first downs, don't turn the ball over, big one, big if.
Keeper here for Hinault, and Capo set
He
the
picks
edge,
up a
and
first.
he's going to get the first.
You know, so every time that they pick up a first, they're really going to chew up like a minute and a half every time they get a first down.
So 1st and 10 here for Goffstown, and they look to seal this game, Scott, and I think that's exactly what you do if you're Goffstown here. You just run this ball, and you try and get it as far down the field as possible and eat up the most of that already winding clock. And Picard's going to go up the middle, but there's a pack of Bulldogs there, Scott.
Yeah, he got nothing on that. Maybe a yard tops. So we're approaching about 9 minutes left in this game with Goffstown leading 21-7.
I'd love to see like a smoke screen here or a quick curl route as, again, you're relying on either Caden Perry, Will Sasso, or Jeremy Hinault to be guarded deep.
I do agree. I think this is a time to throw the ball, but, again, just be careful. You don't.
I'd like to see Caden Perry here on a smoke screen. He does turn back on the smoke screen, as that was probably a run pass option, but they're gonna take the clock chewing up opportunity.
So they were happy, getting a couple of first downs, presumably.
And this one is probably going to be a pass as well. As if you're Goffstown, you just want to chew clock at this point.
Do you throw it or do you not?
I would throw it here, but
I don't. I give it as either a jet sweep or a Jared Hinault.
I throw it here, but
I don't. I do not throw it.
I go safe.
I don't.
It's keeper, and this one's going to go deep to Jonah Lopez. He gets under
my God. He had him.
He had him.
I think, I don't know if Lopez held up, but it looked like he could have caught that ball. Wow. That would have been it, folks.
That would have been game ended right there.
It was a really well-thrown ball. Do you think that Jonah kind of slowed up as he was looking for the ball?
I think, Scott, the thing is you have to take into account his release.
Yeah.
His release off the line is very good. It's constructed very well, and he got the space, but I don't think Jarrett timed it for the extra step and a half off the release there.
Got to kick it away here. Don't let it get returned. Don't let it get returned. Kick it out of bounds.
And that's what they're looking to do here. Is that one's going to go towards the sideline and roll out of bounds.
About the 38-yard line, it'll go out of bounds.
I will say he's not listed as a punter, and that's not his set position. But Zach Picard has done very well today. So
safe to say that Goffstown came about maybe a foot or 2 feet away from winning this game, because that would have been a sure touchdown. And you got to give the coach Hammond credit there, because, I mean, he went all for broke on that.
Yeah.
And so, again, if you're Goffstown, the key here is no big plays, right?
Nope. Get pass rush here if you're Goffstown. You did it. You capitalized last time off of that. And I think that's what you need here.
Yeah, if they score, let them take 3-4 minutes off the clock type of thing. It's a keeper by Michael, and he gets jammed up.
You got nowhere on that one, Scott. George Pierce was the one credited with that tackle.
And they're going to have to go hurry up there. They don't have a choice, because they got to put up 2 touchdowns. And they seem to be taking their time, Broden.
Yeah. Interesting decision, but I think they're waiting for the play call. Looks about 7 or 8 hand signals long here from the Bedford sideline.
No,
which
I get it, but it's
not
just
what you're doing.
You got to put up 2. You want to go fast. Michael in the shotgun. Hand off to number 32, Irwin. Good block. Nice tackle, and that's going to be close to a first. I think he's shy by about a yard.
Scott, I understand I'm biased here.
Yeah.
And I also hate that play call as well for Bedford. You're looking here. You drew 25 seconds off the clock bringing this play in, and you're going to probably draw another 30 off getting the next one in, because you're running the ball when you're trying to conserve time.
So you're thinking they should just be passing a lot.
They should be passing. And at the end of the day, if you can't find an open man, toss it out of bounds and make sure you don't get a flag. and just it'll stop the clock and you'll conserve time. It's poor play calling in my opinion.
Here comes Michael on a pass.
Just
going
don't get
deep.
deep.
He's not going to get it.
Yeah. What did I say, Scott? Scott, looks like your mask is slipping into the screen here. So as we go into this angle, we apologize if Scott.
I can't listen. Our crow's nest here isn't the greatest.
Huh? Maybe I wonder who could pay for a new one.
Yeah. 2nd and 10 now. But I think that was good in terms of going. They got to try to do something here. So Hinault is the quarterback. Jared Hinault is almost playing a down lineman position.
Yeah, he's playing that roamer position.
Yeah.
So if he needs to, he'll come off and cover the running back on the outside edge as well.
Michael's going to pass again.
But he is going to get pass rush here. Way to get up there by Matt Dalton, and that one's
Yeah, see, this is the key. Dalton was in the backfield, and he had his hands up. And Michael is like 5'10".
Yeah.
So he has to throw the ball higher.
Look at the replay here, folks. Matt Dalton is just
Matt Dalton
up
is
there.
6'7", right?
Yeah, and I don't doubt his arm span is much shorter than that, Scott. So I'd say, just doing basic math, he's probably, plus getting off the ground for him, he's probably about, his hands are probably topping out about 9.5 feet right there, Scott.
Bedford's got to think about a shorter pass. Short pass and run, you know?
Yeah, no one in the backfield here. No motion either for Michael.
Capos is in on him again.
Kumbani is wide open over the middle, and that's
it's intercepted!
What a play by Uzi Apoyo! Way to get there with the hustle. Uzi, what a play!
He took it off
the tip, Scott. Incredible play. Great hustle from Uzi Apoyo, and that one could close out the game here for Goffstown.
Oh, my God. He took that right off the turf almost.
Look at this one, folks. Incredible awareness and hustle here for Goffstown, as that one was tipped by Jeremy Hinault. And then Uzi with an incredible diving grab, pulling that one away from the ground. Wow. Unfortunately, we do see a Bedford player go down here, so we're going to take a little bit of a break. That's Kumbani, who was the intended receiver.
And
I think he may have taken a misstep or something.
Kumbani is a senior, just had a great career in Bedford. I've seen him play over the last 3 years.
Yeah, and
always in on the action.
He's played really well today, too. He had some good returns and a really good deep ball as well, Scott. So this is a big missing chunk of the team here if Kumbani goes down.
So you're going to see the same type of thing if you're Goffstown. You're going to see try to run the ball, get those first downs and kill clock, and then
it's just 2 clock situation here for Goffstown, and that's all you need to do. And you've got the perfect pieces to do that in Picard and Hinault.
And if you're Bedford, you've got to step up here. You've got to jam up the middle.
Motion here from Jeremy, and Jeremy's going to get that one and break to the outside.
And he picks up 6.
Yeah, very good play there by Jeremy Hinault, who just tipped the ball in that interception. So looks like they're giving him a little credit here on the sideline.
Yeah, so they're going to, under 6 minutes now to play. Goffstown leads 21-7. And I can tell you right now, if Goffstown gets 2 first downs, it's that might just do it.
I think in
terms of time.
So, Scott. So Kumbani is up on this sideline, which is very good news for Bedford, and you hate to see anyone go down, especially such a key player. As it gets eerily quiet here, Scott.
Yeah.
Trying to run out as much time as
Picard
possible.
Cuts it
Picard
back.
cut back, and that's
he gets a first down, and that's all you want. I mean,
really good cutback. His entire line shifted in one direction and kind of gave him like this nice lane to run back
so that's
upon.
Clock is now under after this first down. The clock will start, and you're in no rush here if you're Goffstown. You want to chew up all 30 seconds practically. I don't know what's going on here, but why isn't the clock was not running?
There was some stuff being yelled. I don't know. The refs were talking to each other, I guess.
Yeah, right. It's very quiet here at Goffstown High School.
Yeah, and you just want to let your offense work here if you're the fans. And oh my goodness,
it's almost a 9-yard run by Jared Hinault. You know something? I'm just going to say it. Okay, I don't think that Jared Hinault gets enough respect.
In his running abilities?
No, I mean,
overall,
I think he could have been like player of the week. I mean, he had 5 touchdowns, right? I mean, he's just a dominant player.
And I hate to use this terminology, but on that play, he kind of just squirted through a hole there. He burst through, and I was like, oh, he's got 2 or 3 yards, but he managed to get 8.
So we gave a lot of credit to Toby Halpern. He picked up a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
Toby Halpern, it gives up like 100 pounds sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're running over him.
Yeah.
So
he's getting it done for Goffstown here. Keeper here, and this one's going to pick up the first down.
It's the same thing. He gets to the, what is it? Like he picks up, easily a first down. And so this is essentially it, barring a turnover if you're Goffstown.
Yeah. I'd agree with you there, Scott.
So barring any type of fumble, and Goffstown just has to hold on to the ball here.
Looks like the Bedford sideline's trying to get some noise pumped in here, but it's just dead silent.
It's really quiet. What was weird? That was a weird.
That was really weird. Nobody on the line moved.
Nobody on the line moved, so it was like they didn't know the count. It was super weird.
At least nobody on the line moved, rather than everyone moved at the wrong time.
Exactly. That was just like
no flag there.
So the count was clearly off.
I heard some language there. I think somebody said along the lines of let's go and move or something like that on the line.
Yeah, it was just so weird. Under 3.5 now to play in the game.
Choice words used in the trenches there from Goffstown. So we're going to see Jared Hinault standing straight up.
Yeah, he waits until the referee puts his hand up.
Keeper here for Hinault, and he's got an
great
outside
block
edge.
by Sasso.
Sasso sets that block.
They're going to call a holding on Goffstown on number 51, I think.
And Capos is a little ginger getting up again.
That's a hold on Goffstown. That'll come back.
I think it's on Caden Perry. He's kind of shrugging there.
Sasso had an unbelievable block
Sasso
on the edge.
set the edge perfectly.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna come back to about a 2nd and 15, Scott.
2nd and 15, but you still, call me crazy here. Listen, still run the ball.
Oh, definitely.
You still run the ball because it's all about time now.
Look at the clock, Scott.
Right.
You've got 3 minutes and 5 seconds left.
They have to score 2 touchdowns, no fumbles, and that's why you don't want to throw the ball. You don't want an interception and a return.
You do not want momentum shifted in the opposite direction if you're Goffstown here.
So Hinault is smart. He's waiting.
I think
for the official to put his hand up.
Nothing against Hinault, but this is obviously coach's orders to sit and just sit on the ball.
Yep. Timeout if you're Bedford.
And they do.
First timeout for Bedford with 2 minutes and 41 seconds left in the game. So really the momentum shifted a lot. The second half, just Goffstown put their head down, and I think it started all with Jared Hinault. Jared Hinault came out of the intermission just as an angry person.
Yeah.
And it showed on the field.
Scott, I would say out of all of the decisions made on the field today, the one that impacted the game most is not the one you're going to be thinking. I think the best decision made on the field today was to defer the first kickoff.
Yeah.
Because it gave Goffstown momentum coming into the second half, and that momentum has not let up yet.
So we got a long 3rd and probably 13, give it maybe 14 yards. And again, I just don't think that you need to time is on your side here, so you just run the ball again and then you kick. You kick it out of bounds and you make Bedford score two touchdowns in under 2.5 minutes.
Goffstown just walks back out here as they're probably a little winded in this hurry up offense and run after run after run, especially that line.
So here we go.
It's going to be a pass here for Hinault.
No,
and if nothing is there, don't throw it into coverage.
He caught it.
Jeremy Hinault, what a catch!
And he's going to break free. Touchdown!
Touchdown for Goffstown.
Hinault to Hinault.
I think that is Jeremy and Jarrett's second touchdown connection of the past couple weeks, Scott.
Okay. Nick Hammond, holy cow. I mean, I thought that our previous coach had, what's the word, chutzpah, whatever you want to call it. He he has the courage to call that play.
Yeah,
And that'll do it, folks. That puts the dagger in the heart, essentially. It's over. I mean, 2.5 minutes to play. Just Goffstown dominated in the second half.
And ever since that first scoring drive for Bedford, the Grizzlies have been chasing down the Bulldogs, Scott.
And that'll be Bradley.
Goffstown's going to go up 3 scores here, Scott, and these 3 scores
we can already start talking about this is a win. My player is Jared Hinault. I mean, clearly,
100%.
I'm talking not even close is Jared Hinault. But I also put Mikey Levesque in this one for this game. I do.
So, Scott, I'm going to go, and I'm going to counter your Jarrett Hinault, and I'm going to give you a Jeremy Hinault.
Okay.
So he's got 1 touchdown. He got a batted pass for an interception. He's had incredible special teams play like we've seen him do all season. He's been incredible and phenomenal for this game.
And let's talk about the Goffstown defense for a second. So they gave up that 1 score. But other than that, a stout defense and being down so many of their starters is so incredible.
This is without Aaron Duval and without Ryan Cody and limited play from Antonio Capos. It's impressive from Goffstown here.
So Goffstown will take on Winnicott next week. To be determined location, by the way.
Barring if anything goes
Correct.
awry here, Scott.
I know.
We can't call this game just yet.
Yep. Well, I am. So I don't think anybody's going to score 21 points in 2.5 minutes. So
I don't know. This rivalry has had some interesting games. This one's going to be a line drive, deep down, and that's going to roll
live
back
ball
into the end zone.
Unless it gets into the end zone, and it doesn't.
They're going to say
it went into the end zone. How does he see that, by the way?
So
I'm just curious how the referee sees that when he was on the 10-yard line.
So what I think, Scott, is the angle of the player where he turned around.
Yeah.
I think he probably had a foot in the end zone.
I don't know. Okay. So now you just play 2 deep safeties, and everybody, you give up the ball in front of you. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
You're playing a prevent defense here.
We love to talk about how soft this coverage is from time to time, but I think this is the one time where it's like we don't care if it's soft coverage. You just tackle them inbounds and keep this clock running, Scott.
We got a cover 2 here.
Yep, cover 2 with the safeties probably a little too far up, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree.
Intercepted by Seth Osborne, and he's going to take that one in for a pick 6 for Goffstown. What a play, Scott.
Oh, my goodness.
Seth Osborne stepped in front of that one incredibly, and he's just going to take that one to the house.
Oh, my goodness. Seth Osborne. See this on replay.
The junior, Seth Osborne, I believe that's his first touchdown, Scott. And
well, listen,
anytime
a defensive player can get a touchdown, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay? The last time it was Toby Halpern.
Now it's Seth Osborne, and this is, again, we said it earlier, all credit to Seth on this play, but this is also without Ryan Cody, who's been excellent all season. So
and Bradley Nelson, another one. So
that's Bradley's fifth extra point that's been almost right down the middle every time.
So Goffstown puts up 28 points in the second half here, unanswered.
And this is by far not a poor team by Bedford at all.
No.
There is talent all around, and this is, if I'm Winnicott watching this game, maybe live or maybe in film session this week, this is a scary game to watch for the Winnicott Warriors, I believe. I'm a little awestruck by this performance by the Grizzlies today.
I am too. I expected a very tight game. It was a very tight game. Let's be honest. Okay? Nobody was.
Emphasis on the was, because no longer is a close game, Scott.
It looked to me that the Goffstown offense just put the pedal to the metal, and they were just, their offensive line just really pushed the ball a lot.
That one goes back to Kumbani, who's back on the field healthy after he went down, and he makes a move, and he's just got the kicker to beat, and he doesn't beat the kicker.
Nice play.
Yeah, really good tackles there by Bradley.
That's what happens when you give a player like Kumbani a line drive and where he can run. Kumbani was able to run up and catch the ball, so he had momentum.
Yep. Had forward momentum there, and Bradley did play some JV offensive and defensive line, so I think he does does have some.
Well, say what you will, but Bradley, that was the perfect play for a kicker in terms of what he did.
I mean, I would have loved to see like a hit stick tackle there, but solid play by Bradley to bring him down in the open field.
Here comes Dalton. Nice catch.
Sliding catch, really good
no,
play.
They're saying no.
They're saying incomplete.
No.
I don't know. From my view, that looked like it. Maybe it skipped off the grass, and I just couldn't catch it there, Scott. But Kumbani was the one who couldn't catch it there, I guess, as that one's going to fall incomplete. 2:09 left, and Goffstown's up 4 touchdowns in a 35-7 game right now in the fourth and final corner.
So Joe Michael, he's a junior, I believe, so he'll be coming back next year for the Bulldogs. But some of the players, like Solomon Sanchez, he's a senior. Kumbani's a senior.
This Bedford team has been...
Oh, here comes...
Toby Halpern with the sack. Toby Halpern he had his touchdown last week, and
Toby Halpern
and Al Halpern is calling that one with a big grin under that mask from
this defense.
From Al.
This defense has just shocked me. Okay.
Yeah, you've got players who exploded this year, like Uzi Empoyo, who had the interception earlier, and Cooper Flanagan, who's a tackling machine at this point. Yeah. Now you've got Toby Halpern, who's got a scoop and score touchdown a couple weeks ago, now and a sack, and he's been playing great on the line as well. But this defense has been shocking.
Yeah, 3rd down and 19 for the Bedford Bulldogs. They got to go deep. I mean, they don't have a choice.
Yeah.
They got to get pass protection, too.
Rather, they're just going to hand it off to Solomon Sanchez, who this is not what you want to do. And he breaks a tackle, but
Flanagan stuck with it. So
yeah,
Cooper Flanagan stuck him, and then he lost him, and then got him again.
Yeah. And we just talked about how good he is at tackling, Scott, and I guess we jinxed him a little bit, but he does come down with the tackle there.
This could do it, folks. 4th and 15, and if they don't pick this up, well, it doesn't really matter, actually, anyway. But the game is essentially over.
I will call this one now, folks. I will say this is 100% going to be a Goffstown victory as we see this one last pass play, and Michael goes deep. And
no way, it's overthrown.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, so that'll do it. Goffstown will take over on downs, and with that, they're just going to run the clock out, and that'll do it.
We're probably going to see Cam Hyzak come out to take the knee. As
I wouldn't. I would have your quarterback let the guy enjoy the victory.
No, I you know what I say? Jarrett, you've done a great job running the ball today. We're not going to have you take an extra negative 2 yards or whatever on your count. Let's see what they do, Scott. I don't know.
So I call this a surprising win for Goffstown in the sense of the score. Not so much a win, but just the score.
I would also agree with you there, Scott. Yeah. And this one is like, this one, we expected a really good 50-50 matchup, toss-up matchup, like you said earlier today. And instead, it's all Goffstown in the second half. They've come out 28 unanswered in the second half, and this is demoralizing to a good team like Bedford as Goffstown's going to move on. And Jarrett's going to take the knee.
And one more.
He also has his brother, Jeremy, and Zach Picard back there. Take the knee with him. This you said it perfectly. This is a surprising win, not in the sense that it's a win for Goffstown, but in the margin of victory.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's surprising in terms of the margin of victory. That's all I'm saying.
And I will say, for such a large margin of victory, Bedford played Goffstown very well today, and you got to give them credit. They did hold them to a bunch of 3-and-outs early, and
that'll do it.
Yeah. So the final score. 35-7, Goffstown takes this one in the NHIAA quarterfinals for Division I football. Folks, we hope to see you live next week as Goffstown's going to take Winnicunnet, and we're going to be there live, hopefully, as we will see you then. Thank you, folks, for tuning in, and don't forget to stay hydrated.